Commander, set your phases to review. Oh, that was such a bad intro. Hey everyone, SoranotRoxas here, and I just saw Star Trek Beyond. Yes. Oh, okay. Now people are saying that this is the best one out of the J.J. Abrams universe, out of the new reboot of the Star Trek franchise. And you know what? I'm liable to kind of agree with them. I did like Star Trek Into Darkness, even though everyone talked about, oh, the ending ruined the movie. It didn't really do it for me. I do remember the Wrath of Khan, but guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to just come out and just say it here, okay? My first intro to Star Trek wasn't to Star Trek The Next Generation. That was my first Star Trek. And then I saw the original. Okay, so I didn't know too much about the original. I still don't know too much about the original. I know a little bit more about the Next Generation, but even then, the reboot is for the original Star Trek, the original running with, Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, and my God, that was a good tribute they did to Leonard Nimoy. I actually thought it was small. It was a small tribute, but they did it. They brought it up multiple times, and they stated, how much this guy had an impact on the franchise, and it was very nice. It was very nice. You have to see the movie to know what I'm talking about. Actually, that's pretty much all I can say. You'll have to see the movie. So, we're continuing the adventures of Captain Kirk, played by Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto as Spock, and Simon Pegg as the Doc, and they're all talking about, oh well, the Enterprise. There's love, hate. There's we kind of make the Enterprise like home as we travel throughout the galaxy through an endless universe, and it's very fascinating how you got to see kind of like how they live on the Enterprise, and you saw that with the television show. So after a little bit of that goes along, there's a captain that shows up, supposedly captain, and she says that she lost her crew in this in the Nebula system. So of course Kirk volunteers, and they go to the Nebula to see what's going down, and they're instantly attacked by these ships that kind of look like a swarm. They're like a swarm of bees. It's some really clever thing they do where it's like a hive mind, and then there's like a swarm of bees, and of course they run into this villain named Krall, who is played by Idris Elba, who I swear this is the third time I've seen him in a movie this year, okay? Using fucking Zootopia, using goddamn Finding Dory, and now you're in this. Idris Elba, man, I would say stop popping up in my movies, but if you did, the movies probably wouldn't be as good because he was an awesome villain. The guy can play anything. Let's just come to the conclusion that the guy can play anything, and I was really impressed with his performance here. He felt like he was part of this universe, like he was part of Star Trek. And there's this whole philosophy, which I'm not going to go into it by me stating that it will actually give away the ending in the film, which I really like what they did with this villain here. Basically, he's trying to find a weapon to just destroy humanity. He has a reason for it, and he has a pretty good reason. Okay, so it's not pretty good reason considering that he's a bad guy, but you guys know what I mean, as in, like, his motivation is understandable, you see where he's coming from, but there's always another way. And that's what Captain Kirk tries to present to him, but it might be too late for him. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, I can't go into any of this without spoiling it, considering that the movie just came out last Friday, but if you're a fan of Star Trek, and especially if you like the J.J. Abrams reboots, or even if you don't, you'll still enjoy this. And unlike Star Trek Into Darkness, they actually do their own thing towards the end and throughout the majority of the movie. So it doesn't feel like they're copying off of the Wrath of Khan too much, even though Benedict Cumberbatch was actually a very good villain, very good Khan in that movie. I would say this is probably my favorite next to definitely the second one. It's funny, I don't remember the first one all that much. I do remember that the bad guy in the first one was the reason that Kirk's father died, but that was about it, and that kind of made the revenge seem much more satisfying when it happened, and how he got started with the Enterprise. He literally started with the Enterprise, started with the Federation on the dare. So I do like that. I like that. I like how they have rebooted the series, and this is the third movie in the reboot franchise, and so far it has not disappointed me. 3 movies and I have not been disappointed yet. So I'm very impressed with what they have been doing. I hope they continue to do it. We're going to see more movies, more likely, even though that one of the actors just passed away, sadly. Anton Yelchin, that's his name, Anton Yelchin. He's in the film a lot. So he definitely got a chance to finish the movie before that the tragic incident happened at his home with his vehicle. Of course, you know, there are some funny moments in there. Everyone's talking about the one funny moment where Spock tells everyone that he has basically a tracker on Aurora, and they're like, you put a tracker on your girlfriend? And he's like, well, you know, that was not my intention. That was funny. And there are some good quips in there like that. There's a number of them, especially between the Doc and Spock. they have some funny one-liners in there. Pretty much the film overall is very good. I actually enjoyed it. Like I said, I haven't been disappointed yet with these films. You know, if you're gonna keep making these Star Trek films, I'm gonna keep going to see it. I don't think did I see Into Darkness in theaters? I can't remember. I didn't make a review on that, right? I think this is my first Star Trek review. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't think I did. But I did see the movie, especially when it came out on DVD. So I think this is my first Star Trek review. So as my first one and as a movie I really did enjoy, and I can see why it was #1 at the box office, I gotta give this film out of 4 stars, a solid 3.5 out of 4. The only reason why it didn't get a 4 is because whereas Star Trek, you know, you go to different venues and okay, so that's the TV show, so they can do that a little bit more. This is a movie, they have to keep like the setting a certain way. We spent a lot of time on this desolated planet that they fall on, which just looks like California without the city. So we spend a lot of time there, and the only other place we go to is sort of like this it's like the city amongst the stars. It's like this giant sphere. It looks like something out of Final Fantasy X or something. It's like this giant, or 13, or any Final Fantasy. Why did I fucking mention 13? It's like this giant sphere, and there's a city in it that looks like, it's like a weird looking atom looking thing. And there's a city, you know, there's people, there's water there, they got their lakes, they got everything there, okay? It's like a city amongst the stars, and it looks very beautiful, and it's so well done. The designs here are just absolutely fantastic. The Enterprise also blows up, by the way. It's a very sad scene because I've never seen the Enterprise get beaten down like that, to the point where they literally have to rebuild it from like one scrap. It's amazing. The city is very nice and very well presented. But once again, we have the sort of, I'm just going to say this minor spoiler here, the ending fight takes place in the city. Again, kind of like Star Trek Into Darkness, even though that felt a little Star Wars-y, a little Star Wars prequel-ish. This one definitely is more of an original fight. It's more of an original fight compared to Star Trek Into Darkness. But once again, it's taking place in the city, again. And the majority of the time we spend on this other planet. So it's not really amongst space and having space battles. Not really a lot of that going on. That's only about for like one scene. It's a long scene, but that's something else that I wish it would have gone to different places. But as far as that goes, I think Star Trek Beyond is definitely a must-see for any Star Trek fan, or if you want to be new to the franchise, you know, you don't have to see the other 2 films to do it. I would recommend doing that because this film doesn't develop much character as the other 2, but it's mostly because people already know these characters. These characters are very iconic, so there's no reason to do that. But alright guys, thank you for watching. That's my review on Star Trek Beyond. Go out and see it if you haven't saw it already. It's been out for about a week now, so see it, well, almost a week tomorrow, because I think today's Thursday. I'm pretty sure today is Thursday I'm recording this. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you watched it, if you did not enjoy it, please go ahead and hit that dislike button. I shouldn't say please, but you know, if you feel like you have to, go ahead. Alright, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.